All right, guys, we're back. Fit Gamers! And we are about to unbox for you. That's you, right? And today, we have something that all you gamers should be heavily investing in, looking into, or at least considering. We got a gamepad, a controller, not just any. We got the Hori. Now, a lot of you are like, what's a Hori? Connecticut, can you tell me the story? I sure can. Check it out. These guys make flight pads. They've been doing it for years, but they're a Japanese-based company. And if there's one thing that we know about Japan is that they give us the best shit ever. Anime? Yeah, great shit. Also, they give us PlayStation, cars, and a bunch of other stuff, but mostly really good anime. So, without further ado, you know how we do it. Hey! Sight! Hey! Let's get inside and find out what makes it tick. All right, so we already took a look at these in our unboxing. You know what they are. They're the Hori FPS Plus. Okay, so we wanted to know how to get an Xbox style controller on a PlayStation 4. Because as some of you guys know, I played a lot of Xbox back in the day, and I'm telling you, Microsoft just, their controller's killing it. So I went online, I was like, hey man, I want an Xbox controller for my PlayStation 4. Who's gonna make one? There's a couple companies out there, including one super duper rip-off company from New Zealand, like straight up ultra, it doesn't even work. It's like called the something Gator. Go Google it and then stay far, far away from it. If you check out their Twitter, the only tweets they're getting from people who hate them. Anyways, back in subject, nobody made one, except for these guys. So I was like, Hori, what can you do for me? And Hori was like, well, I could probably make you a really cool Xbox controller that has some other functionalities. I was like, tell me more. So I'm gonna tell you more. Basically, this controller looks like an Xbox controller, but handles like a PlayStation 4. They are the only controller out there that actually has a working touchpad. And the reason because of this is because Sony, that's right, Sony actually got with these guys and helped them develop the touchpad. So it's not just like a black square that some of these other companies are making. Excuse me, all of these other companies are making. They're just putting a black square in a controller and selling it to you. This actually works. You click it, it works. Clicking it right now. That click is smooth, crisp, like a potato chip. You touch it, it's nice and smooth. I would say like a baby's bottom, but not quite that smooth. It feels just like the PlayStation 4. It feels just like the PlayStation 4. It's really good. And you know, it comes with a turbo button, even though not a whole lot of games you're gonna use that on. And it comes with an assign button so that you can do some customization. But what really makes this thing shine, right? What really makes it shine is its shape. So for those of you who've been craving the Xbox feel on the PlayStation 4, this will deliver it to you. Now it's a little light, a little bit light. That's not a bad thing. You'll get used to it. But a lot of people associate a light product with a product that has inferior quality. Not the case at all. Matter of fact, this red one and this blue one. Can you tell which one is the newer one and which one is the older one? Like, can you, looking at it, can you tell? Pretty hard to tell. The red one is my controller. The blue one is Kiyomi's controller that we unboxed, okay? This red one has seen extensive use. This red controller is directly responsible for many people breaking their own controllers and turning off their video game console for the rest of the week. Hells yeah. That's right, that's right. So this controller, I've been breaking it down. I've been playing a hell of a lot of PlanetSide on this controller. 3rd ranked in the world, what son? Yeah, that's me, 3rd ranked. But anyways, aside from my PlanetSide bragging rights, I have to attribute some of the credit to this controller making it a lot easier to kick the crap out of everybody online, not even gonna lie. This controller has to be my favorite third-party controller that I ever used. In fact, it is so good that I'm gonna tell you right now, it's better than the PlayStation 4 controller. The one that Sony actually makes that comes in the box with your PlayStation 4, this controller is better, straight up. It's a bigger controller, and that's the thing I found with the PlayStation 4 controller is that it's a little small for my hands. And you know, if you feel like you're picking up the PlayStation 4 controller and it just feels a little small, this is the answer. This is the answer right here. And it's lightweight, so you're not gonna get tired of holding it. It does have a couple drawbacks though, okay? So, it doesn't have a speaker. You know, your controller has a speaker. Every once in a while you'll be playing a PlayStation 4 game and like you'll hear some sound come through your controller. It's not gonna happen because this one doesn't have the speaker. And unfortunately, it is wired. So, no speaker, it is wired, and it doesn't have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So you can't plug your headphone into this thing, and yeah, those are 3 major drawbacks. The other thing you do have to be aware of, but is also what makes the controller the FPS Pro, is that it has a short throw. The triggers are all short throw. It just bam, bam. You know how you squeeze a trigger normally to shoot a gun in your games? Well, you're not squeezing the trigger. You're tapping it and bam, making somebody respawn. They're like, what the hell just happened? You're like, bam, I'll do it again. Good shit, good shit. I fully endorse. I'm endorsing this right now, right here, right now. As my enemies say, it gets my squeal of approval because they squeal when I shut them down. Okay, anyways. This controller is really good. When you buy a third-party controller, a lot of times you're worried about quality, you're worried about how the buttons feel, you're worried about how it's gonna hold up under stress. It's got everything that your controller has straight out the box, plus a few nice bells and whistles. For instance, this works with your PlayStation 3. It has a little dial right there. You just switch it to 3 if you want to play on PlayStation 3. Switch it back to 4 when you're ready to kick some butt on 4. Has the little home button. It's got the options, share button, got all that good stuff. The D-pad feels very good, very responsive. These are holding up, man. These are holding up really good. I can barely feel any wear and tear. These feel just a touch firmer, just a hair firmer, coming fresh out the box, never used, as opposed to this one that has seen many late nights of combat. I don't know what they're doing, but you know, between me and you, they should probably make a crappier controller that breaks after a while so that they can get more money. I'm just saying. This is nice. You might also notice that the controller sticks are different heights. Why is that, Connecticut? Why are they different heights, man? What's going on? Well, out of the box they're the same height, but on this particular one, I added a control freak. And in case you guys are wondering what a control freak is, it's basically just a little rubber dome. They come in concave and convex. And basically what they do is it elevates the height of your controller, okay? So just think about precision, right? The way precision works. If you have a lever, then you can move the lever a greater distance while causing a minimal change, okay? So the best way I can explain this to you is, let's say this is the controller thumbstick you have now, okay? Let's say this is what you have now, right? So you move this around like this, right? you move it around like this, right? Like this, you know? You want to dial in on somebody, you move it, you try to move it a little bit, you try to move it a little bit, okay? Now, what if this was longer? Say you're using this, right? This thing barely even fits on the screen, right? So if you want to go left or right, you see that? Now, it takes you longer to go from left to right, right? But you have more individual control over the amount of movement that you make. You see that? Now imagine you're trying to take a sniper shot and you had that kind of precision to move just that little bit, just that little bit, just that little bit. Instead of using a short thumbstick where you move just a little bit, but it's like your crosshair goes, whoo! In essence, that's exactly how this works, okay? So you're raising the height of the thumbstick to give you greater precision. And I mean, you just can't beat that. Well, I mean, it just depends how you play. But if you get used to this, you'll definitely notice a difference and it's gonna help you, okay? So I definitely recommend picking up Control Freaks or maybe one of their competitors, but I ended up going with Control Freak because the quality compared to some of their competitors seemed to be on the up and up, you know. I'll probably do a review on that as well. Now, let's take a look at a couple more things about what makes this controller a little different and how it's gonna work for you. Is right here, they have a little button on the back, this button right here. Now, when you're playing, you can press this button with this little finger right here. You know, the one that you normally like throw to somebody that you don't like, this finger right here. You hold this down, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna slow down your look sensitivity. So if you need to dial in a headshot down range, you're like, oh man, guy's moving a little too much. Hold down this button, your crosshairs are gonna move a lot slower. You're gonna be able to take that shot a little bit easier. Maybe get that kill streak to last a little bit longer. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is that because it's a short throw, and it's a very short throw, it's about 1/4 of what you're probably used to in the PlayStation 4 controller. This little hair trigger right here, there is no progression in pressing it. So if you were playing a racing game, you're not gonna, you know, lay on the throttle gently or anything like that. You're either gonna not be accelerating or you're gonna be going for the gusto. Not going nowhere, whoa! Not going nowhere, whoa! That's all there is in a racing game if you use this controller, okay? That's it, no in between. You can't brake gently. You're either going whoa or you're going Tokyo Drift, Tokyo Drift. That's it, there's no in between with this. So you gotta keep that in mind. Depending on what game you're playing, you might be Tokyo drifting every time you try to brake, just saying. But most games this is gonna work pretty good with. Most games, especially FPSs, your Halos, your PlanetSide 2s, your, you know, whatever you might be playing out there. That's what's up, okay? So it works on recap, it works on the PlayStation 4, works on the PlayStation 3. Just hit this little button right here, kapows. You dial in, buttons back here. You even have a switch to change the sensitivity of the dial-in button. They thought of everything, everything. You got a turbo button that you're probably not gonna use that much, and you got the ability to hit the assign button and do some custom stuff. You got the share button, option button, every button that is on your PlayStation 4 controller and more in the Hori FPS Plus. So you're probably looking at it, you're like, Kinetica, just tell us one thing, man. Is it legit or nah? Kinetica gives this 5 thumbs up, man. 5 thumbs up. This is hella legit. It's what I personally use to kick the crap out of probably some of my viewers right now and everybody else. It's wonderful. So I suggest you guys pick this up. It's about, I think it's about $50 or so on Amazon. So that's super affordable. It's cheaper than a PlayStation 4 controller and it's better. What are you doing? The one thing that you are gonna wanna pick up with this, okay? And trust me, you're gonna wanna pick this up. I believe the cord that comes with it is about 9 feet. Well, these guys let's see, these guys make an extension for this, okay? It's called Cable Matters. Okay, look at that. I hope you can read that. But if you can't read it, then you heard me say it, and I know you're asking spelled, okay? So Cable Matters, this cord is a 10-foot cord for like $6 or $7 on Amazon, okay? Now, you're like, whoa, Connecticut, that's a lot of cords, man. What's going on here? It's pretty simple, really, okay? So you take this in right here. And you take this in over here, right? Like this, see that? And then, kapow, you just plug it in, just like that, okay? So, take these two ends, you watching? Kapow, just like that, okay? Now, you're good to go. You got all this cord, all this cord, all this cord, all this cord. So, I don't know what your living room arrangement is like, but this should be more than enough cord, okay? You got almost like, what, 20 foot of cord, something like that? So, it doesn't matter if you're sitting right next to your TV, or it doesn't matter if you're sitting halfway across the room. The cord is gonna be nice and long. It's gonna go all around your room so you can roam around. You're not gonna have to worry about being glued to your screen. And probably the nicest thing that I like about the cord is, besides the quality, is I was worried that there'd be like some latency, like I might get some lag by using an extension cord. Not at all, not at all. You saw that? You saw that? If that's not enough cord for you, I don't know where you live, okay? All I gotta say is, if all this cord right here, if this isn't enough cord for you, you're sitting over there, you're going, Connecticut, man, I don't know if that's gonna be enough in my $5 million mansion, sitting on my $300,000 couch. I just don't know, Connecticut. If that's your case, if that's your living situation, you need to invite me to come stay with you. I wanna live there. Maybe spend the night in the kitchen or something, I don't know. But if this isn't enough cord for you, I don't know what kind of house you got, but you need to send the invite, okay? So yeah, guys, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Hori FPS Plus. I'm giving it 5 thumbs up. This thing, the durability is wonderful, it feels wonderful. It really does deserve all 5. It's great. So that's pretty much it, guys. Wonderful, wonderful. And remember, if you like this video, smack that like button in the face! And don't forget to subscribe to join Fit Gamers. And, you know, just remember, we'll be here every week letting you know if stuff is legit or nah. Peace.